cheeks clap.
Do you want to know what it's like? How it feels behind the wheel. On the most exclusive asphalt in the world. 1,000 horsepower at your command. Speed like you've never known. Millimeters between fame and failure. Milliseconds between first and forgotten. Take your seat.
Hello, race fans. Dresden here. It's time for another evening with CCRL, the Cheek Clappers. It's round 2 of season 3, and we're here in Miami tonight. So we're in for. It's either going to be really good or a lot of safety cars. I haven't figured out what we're going to be watching tonight. Miami's a bit dubious. With me in the commentary box, as always, is Trackside. How you doing, bud?
Hey, how's it going, everyone? I'm excited to be here. Bienvenidos a Miami. Should be a good one. I'm excited. I like Miami.
I like it. A little Spanish thrown in there. That was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I do what I can based on the Will Smith song.
Yeah. I like it. You know, I really like the track a lot. I like driving it. I think once everyone like really settles into it the way they settle into something like Silverstone, we'll get really strong races there. But tonight, man, I'm excited to see what happens. And we've got like the opener for season 3 was pretty intense, I think. What do you think about the Silverstone race?
Yeah, it almost prematurely boiled over. It was a lot to take for the first race of the season, and I thought it really even came down to the last lap. So I think it was a lot, and if we have anything like that here in Miami, it's going to make for an awesome show tonight.
Yeah, man, fingers crossed. Like I would really be excited. Like the finish for I watched the sprint race again. I didn't have time to get to the whole thing like I usually do, but man, the sprint finish.
It couldn't have been better time, Dres. In the chat, Komakopa said, "Hello, cat lovers."
Because she doesn't understand why I sit, because I usually sit back there, and then she sits right behind me, and she's screaming at me because she just doesn't understand why I'm all the way up here, and she thinks every moment needs to be about her. I don't want to talk about the cat. I want to talk about racing, because the sprint finish was awesome, right? Like that last lap. First of all, it was a convincing victory from Walrus, and I'm hoping to see more of that tonight. Right, and then who was it? It was Z-Milk and Reimer. I want to say, is that right? Yeah, Z-Milk and Reimer. That last lap, man, they finished just neck and neck, trading places all the way through Vale. It was just the best way you can finish a race in Silverstone. Period.
Yeah, and we thought we might see NLC's first win there in Silverstone, but there's been quite a few penalties handed out this week by the stewards. So it's not over till a fat lady sings, and you got finishing first is only half the equation. You got to keep your nose clean too. So
you gotta keep your nose clean. You can go take notes from Curveball. I think he's been doing a very good job of keeping his nose clean. But yeah, the penalty situations were quite uh, detailed, let's say, to get unscrambled there. Hats off
Yeah.
to the stewards,
They
man.
had a hell of a job last
They,
week, and they did their best. So yeah.
yeah, I like the new like the penalty sheet, and actually in my notes here is like the new standings sheet,
Yeah.
right? The new graphics. I just wrote ooh wee.
Yeah, I believe it's Shashir.
Right? I don't know if you can. Like I just like it. I like the it's slick now, and it's got the pictures on the side.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I'm really digging is, and I believe it is Shashir doing all these new graphics. So I want to make sure that he gets the
Yeah.
credit. But he's got this new thing that shows like the pace calculator, who's got the best pace, who's got the best overtaking
Hmm.
percentage. I mean, it's crazy the stats that we are getting here. So,
Yeah. Yeah, the stats are good. I'm kind of hoping in the future maybe we can get something live
oh
running, right?
man,
Like you can look over and see, you know what I
yep.
mean? Uh, oh yeah. Hey, I'm getting notes to get on uh what is it? Spectator because I am forgetting about doing that now. Like just rusty. So yeah, the finish in the sprint was awesome. The finish in the full race was, let's say, controversial and interesting. And Reimer just had the best day overall. Let's take a look at the standings after round one.
Yep. So we've got, and here you go. Here's a great example of our new standings here. And maybe I said Shashir earlier. Komakopa says Bong it. So I know it's one of those two guys. So we appreciate the hard work that goes into these stats. But you can see there leading the standings right now is Reimer, the Mercedes driver. Came out on top in the race and did well in the sprint. So he is sitting at the top of the leaderboard right now. NLC just behind, took a penalty even though he finished first in the race. So he is sitting second, tied with Feeney at 20 points. Curveball and Urban
Yeah.
at 12 points, and Rujoff at 11. It's still very tight. We're only one round into this thing, so still a lot to play for, Drez.
Yeah, definitely. But when you look at Reimer's total out of round one, 31 big points coming in for the Mercedes driver. A very big day for Reimer and an excellent way to start season three. That is for sure. You know what caught my eye when I was looking through the stats is Feeney sitting there tied for third. I don't think we mentioned him much at all when we were watching the race, but when you look back through the stats and look at the finish, Feeney just quietly had an amazing day. We just didn't give him much coverage.
Yeah, he was kind of the silent killer there in Silverstone, just making his way up silently. I cannot remember where he qualified at, but definitely I feel like had to make his way through a crowd to get up there to third. Another name that really stuck out to me was Urban, the other Mercedes driver. So Mercedes getting two in the top five. That's a great finish for Urban at his home Grand Prix. So look to see more of that here in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah, Urban's solid, having some good days lately, and yeah, couldn't come better time for Mercedes. Like I notice are very aware of how the Mercedes drivers are doing.
I'm so impartial. It's
Let's
not even funny.
Mercedes is leading, yeah, constructors big time. Mercedes way out in the lead, and McLaren, you know, needs to find some more points. All right, McLaren, come on.
Well, speaking of
Let's
McLaren,
go.
those drivers Leisig and John the Prince. John the Prince getting a very nice pass in on Esports Driver Limitless on Sunday night. So we know the talent is
Yeah.
there, and so I'm assuming those two guys will climb up the ranks as well as we get the rest of the season underway.
Yeah, McLaren's going to bounce back. I have no doubt. Now, when we look at that top 10 out of round 1, there are conspicuously a few names missing, right? Leisig, round 1, season 3, he's our big champion from season 2, coming out of the beginning of season 3 with not very many points, a big spin right at the end of the sprint, and then just a rough race, right? And not much to show for
Yeah,
it.
if I remember correctly, Drez, both of our season 2 juggernauts, Z-Milk and Leisig, both having spins in Silverstone. So not sure if it's the new game physics and handling model that they're having a little issue wrapping their heads around, or if it's in Leisig's case, we know he had a hardware change out. He's now off the controller and onto wheel and pedals for this season. So both of those drivers probably getting a little outside their comfort zone. But I'm assuming as this season progresses, we'll see them settle in and start to lay down some really solid results.
Yeah, and no doubt. It just surprised, like, if you're gonna script a way for season 3 to start, to give someone like me who's like a fan of what happened in season 2 something to like get excited about.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
I already like how it's starting.
For those that didn't watch season 2, it would be like Lewis and Max both wrecking at the start of a season. I mean,
Yeah.
like those were our title contenders, and having trouble. So
Yeah, it's exciting. So they're going to have to battle back, and Reimer's no slouch with a big 31-point lead. I'm excited to see what he does tonight. I just want to see McLaren 1-2. That's what I'm looking for. Let's go.
So we got a bunch of people in the chat
Yes.
tonight, Drez. This is awesome. It's shaping up to be a great night. We've got I think almost
Cool.
full grid. I do want to send a shout out to. Oh man, now it's coming to a blank. We had an injury.
Rewinds.
Yeah, rewinds. In a car accident
Rewinds.
today, injured his ankle. So hope we send thoughts and prayers over to him. Hope he gets better soon. But yeah, we'll have 19 guys on the grid. I don't think we found a reserve driver for tonight, so that seat should be empty. But hey, everyone in the chat, we appreciate you're here. Coma Copa, Untrained Pro, the rest of you guys out there, shoot us some comments throughout the race. We're excited that you're here.
Yeah, I love that. We'll try to interact whenever we can. Man, so much I wanted to get to, and we touched about half of it, but it looks like they're taking a little time getting started here. Maybe we can talk about it a little bit more. Let's see here. Walrus. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what Walrus does tonight. We had a really strange race from him, but the sprint was very convincing. Right, so we're very curious to see what happens, and also it's not a one-shot qualifying tonight. We're getting the full short
I love
qualifying
that.
too, so I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah. I one shot just never satisfying.
No, it's kind of like
Looks like-
it's just not satisfying.
Yeah, it looks like we're readying up, so let's go ahead and head on in, and we'll get ready for some qualifying.
Sounds good. So tonight we are in Miami. Welcome to another night with CCRL. We're live. Tonight is round 2. We are here in South Florida for a sprint race, 28 laps around the Hard Rock Stadium. It's 3.336 miles, 19 corners, 12 to the left and 7 to the right, 3 DRS zones into turns 1, 11, and 17. It's a long lap. It is taking 72% at full throttle with speeds reaching over 200 miles an hour. Tonight's tire compounds are the middle range of compounds in the Pirelli wheelhouse, the C4, the C3, and the C2. We think a one-stop strategy should do it, but a two-stop strategy could be possibly a faster way to get around this track. So we'll see, and safety cars do always play a big part in that. Qualifying coming up.
Yeah, the safety car. I'm ready for a less than 2 safety car event in Miami. I think that's what I'm hoping
Agreed.
for. One safety car. Give me one 5-star safety car and I'll be happy. That's all I want.
just something enough to change the strategy up a little bit.
Yeah. Like give me a race I'm interested in until the last 10 laps, but I know what's going to happen, and then just turn it on its side. And let me get excited about that too. So it is qualifying time, and man, it is 19. I do wish we could have got a reserve driver in. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I get it though. You know, we want to make sure that we preserve the integrity of this grid.
Yeah, it's difficult to. I mean, admin's got so much to do. Like the stewards, all this, and they're constantly like. That's why I was talking about how much I liked the sheets. It just feels like there's a constant growth in the background, and I always like that.
There's always somebody's always doing something.
Yeah. John the Prince out early, as is Curveball. Let's get some information on him. Yeah, John the Prince eager to get a time on the board.
Tell you what, we're hearing quali in Miami, but quali this weekend in Hungary is going to be something new. Excited for the new format, Drez?
So remind me of the new format.
Yep.
What are they
so
doing?
we'll talk. Everybody may not know what I'm talking about. So you'll see right now we've got, we're going to do quali 1 here. Anybody can use any set of tires they'd like to in this session. In real life F1 this coming weekend in Hungary, Q1 will be reserved to hard tires only. Q2 will be medium tires, and Q3 will be soft tires. So be interesting, because I think, and I think it really could be benefiting some of the midfield and below cars that maybe run a little bit better on some of those harder compounds. So we'll have to wait and see what that looks like.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of 1-lap pace they put on all the tires, like what kind of variance happens, right? And I definitely think it'll require more skill from each driver, because when you're all out on the harder set, it's got to feel very different.
No doubt.
So you gotta push to the limit of the hards instead of just the softs you're used to. I think it'll be more challenging. I'm on board with John the Prince. He's coming around turn 8, a very deep dive, does kiss the inside, maybe a little late on the accelerator, but it looks locked in here. Oh, we got trouble up ahead. Oh, it looked like an Alpine.
Yes,
found the wall.
SP.
Oh, no, and down the straight, too. He was probably looking at a menu or checking something.
Yeah.
It was a strange place to pull the wheel off. I think.
He's going to be he's going to be starting from the back, I would assume.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Alpine having a pretty good start too. I put my constructor sheet on the aside, but I think they're up in the top 5. They had a pretty good start. Curveball across the line, 129.2. J Prince will cross the line soon, 29.30 even. About 7/10 back from the pace curveball in the Red Bull has set.
Yeah, that's
We got our first spaded time.
about almost a second between the two of those guys. We should get some more
Yeah.
relevant times here soon.
Shiesty put a banker in. We've got a whole set of people coming across. There's a McLaren. Oh, that's Leisig. He's coming out, but he's on his outlap right now. Let's find someone else who's hot right now. I think Z-Milk's across the line. He's put a 29 for NLC. Has a very quick time on the board again. A 28.8. NLC shaping up to be a very competitive driver.
Yeah, he set the fastest lap in Silverstone, so he's no slouch.
Ooh, Mercedes a little bit trying to rejoin the track.
And that Urban.
I believe, yeah, I think
I'm
it
currently
was
on board with Reimer now, watching as he is getting ready to come around turn 16 to finish out his hot lap here.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna steam tons of mistakes in the mistake generator.
Oh, I love the mistake generator. That's my favorite part about this track. I love it.
It's definitely, I feel like it's a good signature. You know, like it's a unique curve. I don't think you have anything else, any other turn that feels like that on the rest of the tracks.
So Reimer coming in second, still behind NLC there.
Yeah, NLC has definitely put a strong time up. 28.8 is. We're gonna need to see some parity here.
I'm looking down through to see Angry Walrus on an outlap. That is a guy who could give NLC a run for his money with that time on the board.
Yeah, watch out if Walrus gets really consistent and keeps putting those times up.
Yeah, like I said,
he's starting his hot.
I think I mentioned it last week, but over one lap, I don't know if we got a faster guy. Maybe that who's that new guy we saw for the tournament?
Oh, Blockman.
Blockman.
Well, I don't think he's part of CCRL officially. Yeah, just coming in for the tournament because we were pushing hard for more spots. Walrus, man, looks very much on the edge. A nice entry into 7. Little twitchy as he gets through 8, hits the apex well. This looks very quick. Sector 1 times 30 flat.
Yeah, it's a personal best for him, but I believe this is his first flyer, so that makes sense.
Yeah. There's still a tire sitting in the road, SP.
You would think the marshals would have got that by now. I mean, what are they doing down there?
Yeah. It's something. Oh, a nice entry into that chicane. I like that. Hits the apex well on the gas. Feels solid. 103 and change for Sector 2.
It does look very good. He seems to have a very solid control over this car throughout the lap.
Yeah. Felt a little rough around that final 17 across the line at 29.5. Good enough for 6.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, that felt like a good lap, and it's still sixth place. He's got Leisig just ahead of him at 29.4. Z-Milk at 29.4. Curveball's looking quick tonight. He's at 29.2. Feeney. Feeney. Man, we're going to have some new superstars this season. It is feeling like.
I think we might.
Yeah, Feeney showing up again. He had a really great. I'm hoping we can catch some fights with him tonight, right? I hate seeing like somebody third in the championship and we didn't find any reason to give him any coverage. And we're watching for Feeney this evening.
Absolutely.
All right. Who else is hot here? Let's find somebody we can do a lap ride
Z-Milk
with. What do you think?
heading down towards 17 right now on his out lap.
Okay. Let's get a lap ride in.
Ooh.
Let's go with the Ferrari.
Okay, all right. Well, here he goes. He is coming across. This is really where you start your lap. You've really got to get speed up as you come through this start-finish because you've got DRS open all the way down into turn one. It's a very back and forth, left to right, as he's got traffic on the inside. That was close, but he's kept it together. Down into turn four, this is a quick left, right, left. As you head into turn 6 and 7, is a gradual. The turn gets apex comes at you pretty quick and blinded almost as you come through 8, and then you get DRS all the way through 9 and 10. These aren't really corners. You're not slowing down at all. He's catching up, getting a great slipstream from the Haas, but he's got to back out. That's going to affect the lap time a little bit. Hard braking into turn 11. This is one of the best overtaking spots. And then you can go side by side. Oh, man alive. And this is exactly the trouble you can get into in Miami. Just traffic left and right. And these blind corners don't allow you to see a car coming from behind. So Z-Milk's going to have to gather himself and come back around to start another lap.
I mean, it's hard to do for the pros, right? and here you've got to drive and watch the map, drive, watch the map, drive, watch the map. It's tough, and then like on the fly know where you should be so that you're completely out of the way. It's not very easy to do.
Yeah, and there's probably we'll see how strict the admin gets here with, basically Z-Milk got his lap ruined, so he's gonna lose that set of tires and have to come back out. But we'll see how strict the admins are gonna be on that. The term is escaping me right now, Dresden, but impeding.
Yeah, impeding.
I haven't finished my monster yet, so I'm still, half a brain working.
Yeah, I always have just a little bit of coffee, right, to help out.
Sometimes I got to go for the hard stuff, but you'll never catch me drinking a Red Bull on this stream.
So NLC, man, that 28.8 still stands. And I believe he's either coming in or he's starting a hot lap. I think he's coming in, given the way his tires are. So let's catch a lap with Feeney. He's hot, and it's got about a half a lap left. Can he find another 3/10?
Feeney?
Yeah, because NLC does appear to be very much by himself right now, and I don't want that to be the case.
Let's see. I've got Feeney somewhere before turn 11 right now, kind of getting ready for
yeah. He's letting all this traffic come through.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do. You can't see it because we've got the chat covering it, but we've got a mini map down here. And you got to keep an eye on that as a driver to know if you got traffic coming up, because you don't have an engineer in your ear telling you, like, you got Verstappen 5 seconds behind, 2 seconds behind to know to get out of the way. So
So we still need. There's a new name on the grid. You notice the other Aston
Yeah, the
Martin?
Johnny Damon. I've seen him in the Discord this week, talking, and
Okay.
it may have been in practice as well this past weekend. But I don't have much
Okay.
much backstory on him.
Well, let's see a time. I can get a sense for where he's going to be. We need times from Hayden Rogers as well. Both still in the pit. 4 minutes remain. Feeney gonna start his hot lap now in anger, heading down to turn one. Let's go, Feeney.
Oh, so there you go, Drez.
Out.
Johnny Damon's the sub for
Ah,
rewinds
good.
tonight, and that's just getting in. That's Matt Damon's brother, actually.
I believe it.
I got the producer in
we
my
got all
ear.
kinds
Yeah.
of. We got Matt Damon's brother. We got the real Verstappen around here
Celebrities,
somewhere.
and it's
He's not on
Miami,
grid
so
tonight,
you know the celebrities just pouring in.
Yeah. Feeney looking good through sector one, dealing with traffic, but it's not that bad as we head down the back straight here. Is he improving? That's the question. I wish we could get a delta readout from their previous best lap. Like, oh, just rough there.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it looks like
we
he's
used to
heading
get
in.
one up in the upper right hand corner, and I've got one right now. Do you not get that one up in your?
Oh yeah. So I've got the time, but I don't have the delta to their old.
Yeah. It will give you the delta only when they cross the sector timing
Yeah.
point. So you got to know to what. You got to kind of have that like, okay, sector
Yeah.
two's ending, and then it flashes.
I just want it to be continuous.
Yeah, that would be
I
awesome.
feel like that. All right, I want to give Z-Milk another go here to see if he can get an improvement on his lap.
Oof.
Guzman's coming in at 7th. So again, we're coming to the close now. NLC's 28.8 still unchallenged. Reimer has made a big improvement. He's into the 28s. He's a 10th behind. NLC, the Reimer looking to build on that strong start.
Yeah.
Curveball's got a 29 flat. Feeney looking good at 29.1. Z-Milk has a 29.4 on the board, but starting a hot lap now. This will be his final opportunity to see if he can move up closer to the front row.
Yeah, those top four guys within
Nope.
about 3/10. So it's going to come down to this last go to see who's going to take the cheese.
Don't talk about I'm hungry. But it's just I got off UPS. I had time to study for the cast, and I'm gonna chow down after this race.
What are you making? I might come over.
My wife's got fancy mac and cheese over there. I've been smelling it. I don't want to talk about food because I'm gonna be distracted. A little rough. The turn in through 12 felt a bit wonky, but quick through the chicane there. Coming across the sector 2, down 3/10. Looking like he's gonna have a chance to move up. Z-Milk.
Oh, lots of traffic
Gonna
up here,
improve
Drez.
on the final lap. Yeah, that's okay. One staying out of the way. Everybody else looks hot, so he looks clean through the final turn. Can he keep the time? He's across the line. 27, 28. A big improvement. Z-Milk up to 4th. 29 flat. Nice. All right, let's see who's coming across the line next.
A couple of Mercedes.
Oh, yeah. Action 3. Is Reimer
I
hot?
think he's going hot this lap. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. So he's trying to move up to the front row. Curveball has pipped NLC into first place. And there's just no time in between them. NLC put that lap up, but has not been able to improve it. Is he hot right now? I believe he is. Okay, I'm on board with 2 NLC. He's coming across the line next. Time has run out. Oh, he looks like he's heading just into the pits. Never mind. Let's jump back to Reimer. 29, 28, 9 on the board. Can he move up to the front row as he heads down to the final turn?
Another guy we might see make a big jump is Walrus. He's currently sitting in 12th and heading down into turn 17 now.
Okay. Awesome. Looking very
And
solid
Hayden
through the mistakes.
Hayden goes to number 1 now with a 128.6.
Out of nowhere, because he didn't have a time on the board this whole time. Oh, they made me miss the Sector 2 time for Reimer. He's still driving with a vengeance, so you have to imagine he's got some time in hand. He'll need 3/10 to push Hayden Rogers out of the way. He's still heading for the lines. 26, 27, and the line. A big improvement. And on to the front row. It's Reimer alongside Hayden Rogers. Is anybody else hot?
I think
that's it.
I think that's it.
Man, a lot of last second improvements. That was exciting. And Hayden Rogers out of nowhere. A one and done for first place at 28.6, a very quick lap.
Yeah, and I think that's the first time we've seen a Haas on the front row since Leisig gave up that seat last season. So
that's a neat statistic right there.
Hayden putting in some work in that Haas, starting on pole for the sprint race coming up next.
Oh, man. Okay, so good stuff. And actually... Man, the spread is nothing. It's 1 second all the way down to 14, and the first 6 within half a second. We got a race.
We'll see. So I'm getting some intel here that one, the Z Milk impeding was just only the tip of the iceberg. There's been quite a few comments here, so I'm sure penalties are going to start flying like margaritas down here in Miami at this point. But also, Johnny Damon did not set a time, and I'm getting word that he is very quick. So we'll keep an eye out for him in the sprint, see if he can make his way up the grid a little bit.
Man, all right. Man, the elite tier, the grid has evolved pretty much. I think we've got a very good mix of all skill levels here, and it's fun to see the old Goliaths challenged, young blood leading the way, and
yeah,
it's hard to know. It's I think halfway through season 2, you could have been like, oh, I'm pretty sure this person's gonna win, that person's gonna win, but tonight, you just have no idea. You've got Leisig and Z-Milk are not on the front row, but they're so consistent. They drive so well, and their racecraft is so good. You can never count them out.
Yeah. We've got fresh blood, and it's nice to see that we show up every week and we don't know who's going to win a race. So that's refreshing.
Yeah. Yeah. All within a second inside of Miami. I think that's pretty cool. Oh man. All right, so let's go do some prediction time before the race.
Oh,
you ready?
Okay, I gotta remember. Yeah,
Hey,
so
give me.
I'm. You know what?
Give me a.
Okay, go ahead.
Give me a 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Give me the podium.
I'm gonna
for the sprint. Remember it.
Feeney, NLC, and we'll go Hayden.
Hayden, that's not bad. That's actually really good. Feeney NLC Hayden. I've got to put Leisig out there because I know he's itching for points, right? I think. Yeah, no, I'm going the old school favorites here. I'm going Leisig, Z-Milk. Man, I want to say Reimer, but I don't want to give him any more points. He's like he's got enough already.
Okay, we've got one from the chat here from Coma Copa, your second favorite McLaren driver. One
Yeah.
NLC, two Reimer, three Feeney is what Coma Copa says.
NLC, Reimer, Feeney. That's a good guess too. That's a good guess. Who? Coma Copa is a fan of the grid, man. Welcome. That's awesome. And Monday nights, watch out because Reimer wants to try his hand at a little commentary, and I think we're going to try to give Pro Tier some coverage
On
here
Monday night?
starting next
All
week.
right.
So yeah. So looking forward to
That'll
that.
be great.
All right.
I tried racing with
Alright,
them on Monday night, and I got booted turn one. I'm not gonna name names, but
It's hard not to use, the power of the microphone to destroy
no, I
your
won't do
enemies,
it.
right?
I won't do it. I stoop pretty low, but I'm not going to do that. No,
That's good.
it's nice just to be able to get out there and do a little bit of racing. That's what I really signed up here to do when I came into CCRL, and I'm too competitive, Drez, and
Yeah.
it's nice just to be able, if something like that happens, it's like, okay, I'm commentating Wednesday night, so the world is not over, all is not lost. So it's a nice little mix of both.
It does. It hurts. I remember, that there was a Hungary race that I was so sure I was so prepped for, and off the line, nobody even hit me. I just gunned it weird and just straight into the wall, pulled the wheel off.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just, boom. And man, all you can do is take your headset off. Do we have a? Oh, we're 1, 2, 3. Here we go. There's no formation lap on action 4. NLC's got a good start and a curveball pushing him aside, but we're in. Whoa, deep dive. I think NLC might have gone a little far, but now back into fourth. It's Hayden from Z-Milk from Reimer. NLC slips back behind another Red Bull curveball, jumps into fourth place. And we are away in Miami.
Z-Milk getting an unbelievable start, just parading around the outside of everyone into turn one, up to second already.
Where's Lysik? I remember I put Z-Milk and Lysik
Lysik
up there,
back in ninth.
He's fallen back 2 places. Z-Milk does have the best start of everybody up front, up 3, and now chasing Hayden for the lead in this sprint. Walrus also has got a good start. He's up 2. And, Pontiac, Johnny Damon, we're keeping an eye on him. He's up 4. SP up 4 as well.
We've got a pretty big mix of tires, Drez. So Hayden on softs, Z-Milk on mediums, Reimer on soft, curveball on medium. So our top 4 splitting in half on tire choice. We'll see. That made a difference in Silverstone, if you don't remember. So we'll see what that comes down here towards lap 8, 9, and 10 of this sprint.
Yeah, so Hayden gambling. He's got the position he needs to have for those softs, but he's gambling that they are going to last long enough. But Z-Milk is going to tail him all the way through. Let's go action 4. Curveball looking down the inside of Reimer right now. Just no split in the top 8. It's only down to 9th place before you find a break in the DRS
And
chain.
what's happened to Feeney? Feeney has fallen all the way back to 9th.
A rough start for the guy we were hyping. That's what happens.
That's
We
commentator curves.
hype somebody and then they have a bad day. It's our fault. Hayden up at the front. It's pulling ahead. He's 1.3 ahead of Z-Milk. He's putting those softs to work. We're looking for a battle. Let's go action 7. Walrus chasing down Owaz AlphaTauri.
Oh, Lysik making a late break there, looking to maybe sneak one in on Walrus, but he closed the door pretty quickly.
Yeah, we're going to get DRS this lap. I think we're going to need it up here at the front. Z-Milk back inside of DRS with Hayden right when he needs to have it. She doesn't understand why I'm not paying attention to her constantly. Yeah, man, it just, there's no break anywhere. They're just looking very solid. I'm Action 6 now with OWA. And I'm watching the battle between NLC and Curveball up ahead, thinking about a send, but decides to go back. Oh, very deep. OWA, and now Walrus alongside into turn 2, taking advantage of that mistake. There's a little bit of contact, but it is a racing incident. And there's Lysick taking advantage of him as well. OWA losing 2 places just from being a little deep into turn 1.
Yeah, and that's, Lysick now deep going into turn 7 there. And that's, when you're bunched up like that, one little mistake is going to cost you 3-4 places easy.
Yeah, lap 3 of 10. Z-Milk trails by 1 second. Hayden Rogers desperate to get outside of DRS range. There, NLC very, very close. I'm Action 5 as NLC's fighting with Curveball, looking for 5th place. Just, man, we're going to get the DRS chain here. It is stacked up here at the front. Again, no separation whatsoever yet. 3 laps in. I think NLC may have a little bit more wing on than those ahead of him. Did slip back a little bit down that back straight.
As I've noticed, even with DRS, he's had a hard time keeping up with Curveball.
Yeah. He's quick here into turn 1. And he's very much tucked underneath with point. He's got out of the top 6 here. He's the closest. But, man, trying to figure out where the pass is going to happen, very difficult. Walrus also sneaking up.
Oh, don't forget NLC also on the medium tire. So keeping Walrus behind on softs and then keeping up with the soft tire runners up front. He's doing an okay job right now.
Yeah, and Z-Milk not letting Hayden out of his sight. Hayden pulls out like just outside DR's range and then slips back in. And I think that has to do with, Z-Milk typically running a very different type of setup. He's catching up at certain points and falling back at certain points.
Very close through that chicane.
It's just so bunched up. Very good driving up here. Man, I want to poke around and see. You've got an endless amount of action everywhere. But the DRS chains are very tight. Let's go up Action 2 now, because Z-Milk is quite close and seems to have made up a lot of time that lap.
And this will give us a little bit of insight into the race pace, obviously, but it's also going to give us some insight into the tire deg and what we can expect as far as strategy goes for the Grand Prix.
Yeah, this will be direct comparison over 10 for soft and mediums driven as hard as you can. If the softs hold up for the full 10 and don't really seem to ever give out, then we've got a pass happening. It's Curveball and Reimer fighting down the back straight. Reimer giving a little bit of a switchback here, and it does look like Curveball has found a way through. Though he, deep on the brakes, but no. And there's NLC around the outside. Can he hold on to the place? He does. He sleeks through around 12, and Reimer just getting passed by Curveball, and NLC finds a way through. Very nice driving there.
Yep, and I wonder if that's the soft just kind of opening up a little bit. Seems like it would be a little early, but...
Yep. Action 2 around the outside into 17. It's Z-Milk. He's got the long way to go, but can he hold on? No. The Haas does have the line he needs to hold on for now. But that Haas is completely out of battery. Z-Milk now looking to go around the outside of turn 1. He's deep on the brakes, but Hayden's got the right line, fighting into turn 2. Now Z-Milk is ahead. They're still side by side. Rogers pulls it out around turn 3. That's a fight.
And NLC having issues. He's spun or something's happened. He's dropped all the way back to 8th.
Oh, yeah, it must have been a spin. Yeah, we missed it there. Z-Milk is giving Hayden everything he can handle, and keep an eye on Walrus, because Walrus looking to get by Reimer.
And that
Action 2.
that could happen now
Action
under
2
DRS.
Yeah, Action 2. Reimer or Z-Milk is going to take the lead here into turn 11. Oh, Hayden's still fighting back. Jumped around the outside of, or the inside of 12. Nice driving there from Hayden. I thought that was settled, but no, Hayden kept the gas on and snuck a nose into 12 and hold on to the place.
And while all that was happening, Walrus was able to get past Reimer. We'll see if it can stick on this back straightaway, but he's got a little bit of work to do to catch these guys up front.
So we got another fight into 17. Action 2 as Z-Milk had to go around the outside of 17. Cannot get the job done. Will he switch back to the inside? No, Hayden Rogers guarding the inside of 1. We'll try again around the outside. And a little bit of a nudge there from Hayden. They're still around. They're still together around 3. Hayden still got the right line. But now Z-Milk looks strong as we head into the S's. Backs out a little bit. Hayden Rogers ahead.
This is unbelievable action at the front.
Brilliant fight between these two. Oh man. Z-Milk struggling to find a way through. I think Hayden's softs are starting to go. What is happening? I'm getting kicked out. Are you still in?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, you got to cover it because I've been kicked out.
There was some. I did notice a little bit of glitching, but as we're talking about that, Z-Milk has found his way through turn 12 past Hayden, so he is now going to take the lead of this race. And Reimer has found his way past Angry Walrus. So, as you were in the top 4 positions, things are shuffling up lap to lap here. Let's see.
I'm trying to get back in as fast as I can.
Okay.
I don't want to watch this race.
Angry Walrus all over the back of Reimer once again. So seems like as these passes are taking place, DRS is allowing this guy, whoever's been passed, to catch right back up and make another move, which is exactly what these cars were designed to do. But man, it's providing for some excellent racing tonight. And Walrus is staying. He's only 3.5 tenths behind Reimer. If he can keep this gap up, he should be able to get another pass in on Reimer as we head into turn 11. Both of these guys on soft tires. Z-Milk, the only one in the top 5, I believe, currently on the medium tire. And look who snuck up into our top 5 on the medium. Leisig. Now, in the McLaren.
Yeah, I didn't.
You already knew before I said that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
And he is coming quickly.
Yeah, okay.
He's now within DRS.
I'm back. Yeah, let's go, Lysa. Got to get to the podium to make my prediction come true, but he's got work to do. There's only a lap and a half left, it looks like. So Z-Milk is now pulling out of reach of Hayden. It's Reimer, Walrus, and Leisig. I'm on board with Action 5. The McLaren is on the hunt. Walrus ahead is blinking, but he's got a DRS chain to deal with, does Leisig.
Yeah, but I think the offset in tires is going to negate that. These mediums are the way to go for sure.
Yeah, it's got to show itself here, and definitely Z-Milk showing outright pace over everybody else, and it looks like Leisig is, if he can start making his way through here, he can pick up some extra points that he desperately needs at this point.
Yeah, him and Z-Milk both.
Yeah. Feeney getting a pass on NLC. Actually, NLC having some struggle because Feeney and Owa slipped through. Feeney into 6th place. Leisig and Walrus very much attacking Reimer right now. Oh, a little sideways does Walrus go. He's putting the gas on hard, but it does not look like Leisig is going to be in position to punish him.
Yeah, it's strange. I thought for sure on that tire that's a little bit more resilient than that soft, he would be having no issues. But DRS pretty powerful around here.
Just tough. Yeah, looking forward from Leisig's view, it's just very bunched up. Very difficult to find any way to get through, it's looking like. And DRS definitely helping the softs ahead of him. 1 lap to go.
Reimer getting pretty close to Hayden here. Is he going to dive down for a move? Looks like it. Will he emerge outside? Yes, he's got the pass done on Hayden.
And a very clean pass, much to Walrus and Leisig's chagrin, right? If they had battled a little bit, it would have opened the door for either one of them to have a go. Though there on the inside, a deep move, and Hayden Rogers back through on turn 1, and now Walrus is on the attack around 2. But forced back. Oh, Leisig trying to go around the outside, but Walrus kind of shuts the door on that avenue.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have a
heading around turn
instant
8
replay of the Limitless NLC incident from this weekend. Just getting the squeeze put on him.
Yeah, a little bit of a squeeze there. And definitely a deep send from Hayden. I'd have to see it on the replay. Well, now we've got to fight into turn 11. It's around the outside for Reimer. Now he's got the inside at 12, and I think that's going to do it. Leisig still trying to find a way through these aging softs ahead of him. Cannot. It's just a traffic jam. A little bit of a touch there from the McLaren to the Aston.
Yeah, Reimer got that pass done on track, but he's picked up a penalty in doing it, and so now he's going to go from second, probably back to 5th at least.
Man, Hayden actually down the straight very much faster than the cars around him, and hits the apex on the final turn. So as the final lap comes to an end, an incident-free lap here race here in Miami, and a good one. Oh, something happened to Reimer right at the end. Did you catch it?
Him and Walrus looked like they were kind of bumping wheels a little bit.
Oh, elbows out.
Man,
I wish I'd seen that. That was action. That was a thrill ride. If the full race is anything like that, it's gonna.
Well,
be
you know
great.
that race had everything, but you know what? It was missing a safety car.
I didn't want one. Nah, give me one during the 50% when I get bored. But man, there was just no time to breathe during that sprint race.
Yeah, you said it.
Fights everywhere, even in the backfield, they were bunched up as well, and you have to prioritize the highest point fight that you can.
Yeah, Urban 2/10 out of the points there in the sprint.
Wild. The Hayden likes to fight. A pretty deep send on Reimer there to get that place back. So I'd be excited. I think I would go and watch both of their angles on that one. But man, he did keep it on track on this end, so you've got to give it to him, I think. But Z-Milk solid.
Now this is
solid. Waiting.
Yeah, Z-Milk was solid. One thing I was going to note real quick, Drez, was position 8, the final points paying position for this sprint. Johnny Damon coming all the way from the back of the grid.
Oh wow. So better watch out. Hayden from the back all the way to 8th. Pretty solid race for the Aston Martin driver. Both Aston Martins in the points, and the only team double represented, it looks like, for the sprint. But Z Milk in the Ferrari takes first place. A very solid performance. Fought or kept up with Hayden on the softs pretty much the whole time. And then when the soft started to age around lap 6, it's raining.
We both said that at the same time.
Yeah, it's raining here in Miami. I hope we get a drying tag. I don't want to watch a raining
Wet
race
to
in
dry?
Miami. I don't think. Yeah, I want to see some wet to dry.
Me
You
too.
know, I'll go intermediates to full. You know, just give me a forced tire changeover, right? Man, how is that gonna shape the race? Because these guys look nailed in. Like the driving feels. Um, I don't know exactly how to describe it, but like maybe it's more forgiving, or I just feel like not as many crazy spins or weird moments. Like it just felt like real fighting the whole time, and man, just no separation. That was a good sprint in
Yeah.
Miami. That was awesome.
Yep. And we'll see that the rain's going to equalize some of that out. It's going to play into some people's favors, and we won't have DRS. So any pass that's going to be made is going to be you know, put your cards on the table and really hang it out there type of pass. So we'll see.
And we gotta get ready too, because there's no formation lap, which is my least favorite thing. Right, I like to build it up a little bit, you know, like get ready for the lights to come on.
Yeah, normally
But
we do have a formation lap for those watching, viewing, and the viewers and chatters out there. But there's been a glitch recently with the formation lap and it affecting certain cars on the grid. So until they get a patch out for that, we are no formation lap. So typically gives us a chance to kind of get our feet under us, but just beware. We'll be going right into the race here shortly.
do you see the pictures of that Firebird that Pontiac is going to restore?
What? They're restoring
You
one,
see
or
it
they're
in
making a new one?
yeah. Oh, go to Elite Chat and Pontiac bought old beat up.
Oh,
I think
Pontiac
78.
Bandit. Yeah. Okay. I thought my brain
Yeah.
went somewhere else. Yes, I've seen it. Yeah.
I see. Yeah. It looks so beautiful even in its jacked up condition. You know what I mean? I'm excited to watch it get. Like I hope he posts up. You know what, Pontiac, please post updates. I'm gonna be watching for him. It's exciting. Like it's the next hobby I really want to get
Really?
into. Yeah, I'm just jealous I don't have a restored American muscle car yet.
I don't have the patience.
No kidding.
No.
I want to do it so bad.
I would just take me to a dealership and I'll buy one that's already done. I don't want to have to put the damn thing together. I'll wash it. I'll take care of it.
You have to take time, fall in love with it, right?
Oh,
And
there's
then when it's all beautiful.
plenty of cars I could drive that I could fall in love with right off the lot. I guarantee.
I hear you. So I've got a whole bunch of people leaving the session. We may be starting a new lobby. It looks like. I'm not sure.
You know what? I'm not going to say why I think it is, but sure.
Okay.
We will be. We'll be right back.
Did you get the official word? I don't know.
I think it's lagging right now, so I think we're just going to try and back out and come back in.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, we'll be right back then, guys.
Yep. Invites should be out here in just a second. So this will be interesting a little bit here because like Kamakopa said, I think they're doing it to get rid of the rain.
Oh, they don't want
They
rain?
don't want rain, which I thought was going to be great.
Yeah. That's strange. We've never tried to control the weather before.
Well, we've tried, but
I mean, why
it just never ends
why
up.
leave it on dynamic? Right? If we want a sunny Miami, I mean, I'm actually okay with it because man, it's just going to be a train, I think. Here in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that in the sprint
Where's
starting to develop a little bit. Um, Hey, so yeah,
yeah,
don't get mad at
they're
me. I'm just the messenger. I think it's because of the rain. It could be because of lagging. I don't know, but
ah,
if it
ah.
is for the rain, I agree, Hayden. It's kind of BS, but I think it's
All
for the
right.
latter. What the heck? It says Urban's playing Breaking Point right now. How's he doing that?
All right. Well, I guess I'm waiting on an invite.
Yeah, I think looks like they're setting it up.
Okay.
So you didn't catch my joke earlier. I said that Komakopa was
Which
your
one?
second favorite McLaren driver.
So who's my first
Danny
then?
Rick, the only one who's won a race for McLaren in the past 10 years, who's going to be back on the grid this weekend.
Wait, he's driving?
Where have you
Who's he
been?
driving for? I didn't
What
hear
rock
that.
have you been
I,
under?
I, I, I don't have enough time to
Oh,
follow everything. I do all my F1, I put the race off and then I spend the whole day like
yeah.
reading what happened during the week and I watch qualifying. Like
Um,
I don't watch anything live.
so Nick DeVries got sacked, and Danny Rick
Oh, I
is
remember that.
going to be driving for AlphaTauri for the rest of the season.
Oh, that's
And he's Christian Horner's already come out to say that um, he's got his eyes set on a Red Bull seat for 25, but I think it's going to happen sooner than that.
for who?
For Daniel Ricciardo.
What?
Yeah,
No.
that's what they're saying.
No. I heard all those rumors they were going to get Leclerc alongside
Checo's contract goes
I
through
want
to
to see
25,
that.
so
So they're replacing Checo right like that's apparently like a no. They're definitely going to put somebody new on that seat.
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah. But man, I'd like to see Leclerc alongside. Here's the thing though, like as soon as Leclerc moves to Red Bull, they're just gonna
Yeah,
fall
that's
out of
Leclerc's
the top,
luck.
you know?
Yeah, he can't. He's going to be the next
And
Alonso.
Ferrari will,
He's always moving from team to
yeah,
team right as they get.
it's just the wrong
Yeah.
team. Yeah, poor Leclerc, man. I think he's right up. Like if I had to do power ranking, it's Verstappen and then Leclerc, and then I think it's debatable.
Why does everybody jump on the
Yeah.
Leclerc train?
What are you taught? Leclerc is great. He's just doing the best with what he has. I want to see him in the same cars as Verstappen. I really just want that question answered. I think it's closer than people think.
So you think, okay, so you
You
think
don't think so?
if we put, so you think if we put Max, Lewis, George, Leclerc, and Norris all in the same car, you think it would be Max and Charles, 1 and 2?
And Lewis is hard to count out, but Lewis is, he's getting up
Hey,
there,
now
right?
come on.
Just age happens, man. And look, you can't count out like Lewis and Alonso. There's something special about them and their whole careers, and it always has been.
I think, yeah, you're right.
But
I think I even missed one. I think if you put Alonso in that Red Bull right now, he's beating Max.
no,
I mean, look what he did at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant, but it's not. There's no way. Max is a machine. There's nobody on the grid right now that's approaching him, and I think Leclerc is the only one that has a chance right now. I think if you take Alonso and Lewis in their prime and you put them in the same car as Max in his prime, then I think it gets interesting. But But no, Lewis is not in his prime anymore. He needed a real challenge even to get interested again, right? Like Russell came along and was making him look like he should retire, and then all of a sudden it was like Lewis was like, "No, I'm still a racer, damn it." And you got to give it to him, man. He bounced back big time, I think.
Hey, are you into the session yet?
Yeah, I just got an invite, so I'm heading
I
back
can't
in.
get in.
I really think it's Leclerc number two. I wonder what is the chat still listening to us? I have no
They
idea.
sure are.
I wonder if
Kamakopa,
they think
go ahead.
it would they. I wonder who they think is behind Max. Like I don't think Max is a debatable number one,
So,
right? But who's number two?
yeah, Kamakopa says Lando can be close to Max.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But we haven't really seen the chance of that. I think.
Well, you
I
know
think
who we have seen close to
Norris
Max?
is great.
His only teammate that really was close. Do you know who that is?
Man, I'm trying to go back through all of them. Oh, don't forget to set spectator.
Yeah, I've done that.
Who do you think it is?
Well, I know who it is. I know the answer to this question.
Okay.
So they were both Red Bull drivers
Well,
at the same time. One stayed and one went to Renault. Then McLaren, and now races for Ferrari.
Are you talking about Sainz?
Yeah. If you go back and look at
No.
if you go back and look, they were very, very, very closely matched when they were at Red Bull together.
Right, when Max was like 16.
Yeah, but
right?
Carlos wasn't that much. Carlos wasn't that much older, and I think he's still. I think Carlos is better than Leclerc, and I think Leclerc's got a lot of favorable treatment at Ferrari.
No.
Who's leading in points this season?
That is a good point.
I think
Sainz
so,
having a decent.
and you got to be. We could go down a real big wormhole with this, right? But I think Sainz is the better total package. I think Leclerc probably has pace on Sainz over one lap, but he's not he can't think outside of his car, whereas Sainz can go. He can evaluate a whole race.
No effing way. I will watch the rest of the season, but Sainz is a good. Look, I love rooting for Sainz. Sainz is like my. He's like, I don't know. He's like my workhorse driver. There's always a workhorse driver I really like watching, and I feel like Sainz is a workhorse driver, but I think Leclerc is special. I want to see him. When I watch him drive, I get the same feeling that I get when he's battling people. I get the same feeling I get when I'm watching Max drive. But man, I don't know. It's hard to say. That's the beauty, right? There's always a little bit of mystery because the cars are slightly
they'll never
different.
be in the same car.
Right. I keep arguing that the league should be, realistic cars, but nobody wants that for some reason.
Yeah.
Why not give me what I want, guys? Come on now. But I like the mystery. It just gives you more to speculate about, more to dream about, I think.
You know what would be really awesome that F1 could give us that would solve all this would be like at preseason testing, have a F1 car that is the same setup, nothing changes on it, right? And all the drivers have to do at least like 2 or 3 laps in it so that they can set a time in the same car.
So, I mean, but that's tough because their driving styles are so different.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter at that point.
Right, and you have to have a car that's set up to agree with your style of driving, right? If you're very, very, if you're late on the brakes, Daniel Ricciardo, you need a very different setup than than somebody who drives very different than that kind of thing, you know. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to even say, like, some cars are just better for different styles too. Like, how can you ever really get a good comparison? All I know is that Leclerc kicks Sainz butt regularly
I wouldn't say
in
regularly.
the same car. They're in the same car. So look, we got rain
That's
again.
good.
Like this race is bound and determined to be
I
wet.
brought my brolly.
Have I griped about the Miami fake pool
The marine. Yeah, yeah. We
yet?
talked. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I just want to mention one more time how much I hate that. They put those fake boats on the fake
No, they were
water
real
so people
boats.
can fake pretend.
They were real boats.
I don't care. If your boat's not on water, it's not a real boat. The water was painted on the ground. It just upset me for some reason.
It wasn't a great place to watch
Yeah,
the
you know,
race
like,
either. Like, I'm sure they were expensive seats.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
if you don't know what we're talking about, turns 6, 7, 8 is the marina section, and there was like boats sat on trailers, but then they built like fake water around these boats, and
Yeah. It's like pretending to be Monaco. Like, do your own thing, Miami. For real. There's like this whole Miami's its whole own flavor. Like, why would you try to copy Monaco? Like, it just I want to slap somebody.
You
That's
should. You
all
should.
I'm trying to say.
Well, let's get it on the stream.
Like, just line up all the people I want to
Yeah.
slap.
That's good content.
That's good content. Yeah. That's good content. All right. Well, speaking of content, I'm ready for the race
Yeah,
to
I am
begin.
too. I am ready.
I apologize to the chat. Like,
No, we're not apologizing because we've been putting in some real work the past 10 minutes keeping these guys entertained. So you're welcome. You're welcome.
yeah.
No, it does stink that it took this long
Sainz
to get
is
the race
better than
going. So.
Leclerc. No, it stinks that I have to deal with this Sainz is better than Leclerc opinion. I'm trying to wrap my brain around it. Sainz. Leclerc is the best on the track. Oh, we're good. It's 1, 2, 3. They're on intermediates. Here we go. I'm on board with the McLaren of Leipzig. A very good start from Hayden. He is going to follow the Ferrari into turn 1 alongside Leipzig. Oh, we've got contact and 2 spun cars into turn 1. I saw an Aston Martin and a Williams sideways.
Oh, and we got a VSC already, Drez.
Oh. Meanwhile, look at our top 3. It's Z-Milk, Leipzig. There's some old guard, and Johnny Damon up from 8th into 3rd on that start. We're going to get a very good comparison. Oh, a little sideways, an unforced error. Ferrari under the safety car. Spun, does not rejoin until... Oh, it looks like he's trying to get back up to his position. Z-Milk back into first.
Well, now Leipzig.
No penalties handed out. He's into second. Looks like Leipzig does go through. So Leipzig in the first place. Z-Milk second. Oh, sideways again. Z-Milk definitely set up not... That seems very strange. You would expect the higher downforce Z-Milk to be doing better. Something strange going on with that Ferrari right now.
Yeah, normally he does not have an issue like that, so I'm wondering...
Yeah, something weird. Very strange spins, and now a bunch of people trying to sort it. Man, look at this. There was a Mercedes-Benz with no wing coming through the section. We're racing again. Z-Milk does not rejoin until Oh, and SP out again. Oh, SP having a rough start. John the Prince is missing a wing and now missing the breaking point in turn 17. He's going to lose places down into 12th as he rejoins in between two hosses. Let's head back up to the front, get the situation there. It is Lysick from Johnny Damon 1.6. Reimer follows with penalties on the nose already 1.3. He's got curveball. Inside DRS, not that it matters in the rain, but inside a second. And it's 2 Williams NLC heads up his partner Hemphead. That's 5 and 6. Zemo very quickly making up places into 7th now.
I think I got bad news, Drez.
What's that?
I believe we're going to see some people dropping out of the session here because I think they've restarted this race with no ABS.
That what's going on?
I think so.
Is that we're getting in the chat? Man, that sprint race was so good, and now we're having these weird trouble getting this race going.
And I'll bet you $30. I'll bet you $30 right now that there's no audio lag at all tonight, because that's just how it would go.
Oh,
we can't get a good night.
Yeah, nah, your dream of the perfect cast. It'll come someday. I do hope the lag is fixed, though. We listen, chat and everybody who's watching this video later. We're experimenting with the lag. We're trying to figure out what it is.
There it is. Coma Copa says audio's perfect.
Yes.
Oh, for crying out loud!
Well, man.
Another VSC.
Yeah. Z-Milk's out, Rujov's out, NLC's out. I believe we are going to be retiring. I just think we're waiting for everybody to get the message.
All right, so hey, if you're watching right now, we will be right back. We're going to take a break. I've got to get these butt cheeks up off this chair for a second before we get this next 29 lapper going. So give us just a couple of minutes. When we come back, I promise you we'll get a race going.
I think I'm gonna stretch my butt cheeks too. I'll be back. Race fans, welcome back. I think we're about to get started again here in Miami. It does look like it's set to rain, like we're gonna just have rain. Right? I'm looking over at the thing. It's not dynamic. It's set to rain, so they're definitely just trying to fix the lobby. It looks like settings needed a little bit of fixing, but I think we're
Yep,
back
yeah.
in and ready to go,
We got
hopefully. We've got
we got going
flashing
with the
check
wrong
marks, so
settings
it's
there for
time.
the Grand Prix, and yeah, it looks like rain. So third time's a charm. We'll get this thing going, and hopefully it's a banger.
Yeah. Third time. Yeah, I mean, the sprint has still got me excited, but we're usually finishing
Yep.
right about now, and then I'm running off to bed, right? Signing off and just going to snore immediately. So I'm glad I got the coffee, but as soon as we can get some action,
Yeah,
I'll
that
probably
tends
be
to be.
awake again, I think.
I'm getting low on my Monster drink here. But yeah, that tends to be, as soon as the action gets going, which it will immediately, we'll get really animated. Hayden Rogers TV, bro, it's gonna be like 5:30 by the time this ends his time. Yep, yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, we've got an Italian on the
Spaniard.
grid, a couple of Brits, the European, yeah, the French, yeah. The European time zone is
They got leagues,
definitely suffering right now. I feel bad for
on that
those
side of
guys.
the world too. This is just CCR is such a great league. You can't blame them for sticking around.
Yeah, I think so. It is a good league. I love. I've told this story like when I was first commentating. I think I was up to 6 leagues a week, right? So every single night I was doing at least one league, and just to shop around because I knew I wanted to do this, but I didn't know where I wanted to do this. So I wanted to shop around for a spell to find a good place, and CCRL had the right mix of culture and racing, and man, it's evolved into something so much.
Absolutely.
It
That's
keeps evolving. I'll just
It's
say
like
it
a
like
fine
that.
wine.
It's fun.
This league just gets better with time.
It's definitely aging well. Okay, we are about to start in Miami. The sprint race was a banger. We've got new blood on the grid. We're interested to see this Johnny Damon, who seems to be inching his way to a podium tonight, and that'd be exciting to see. And we want to see a clean Miami in the rain.
It would.
That'd
I'm
also
looking
be a
forward to
pretty
it.
good
I
accomplishment for the
know
grid.
all of our viewers are looking forward to it, and we're ready to get this thing going. Everyone's itching.
Itching. I'm itching for the next installment of the Limitless.
Yeah, it was
race.
so.
I had a blast this weekend.
It was great.
It was so.
I was just messing with you. Yeah, it was awesome. We got another one coming up this Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you got nothing going on, you've watched your regularly scheduled F1 programming, and you're wanting some more, come join us.
Yeah, come watch CCRL take on one of the best in the world. It's just fun to because you've watched these guys so much and you've been a fan of these guys for so long, and then CCRL or Limitless comes in and you get a great comparison, and you get to watch them really get their elbows out and just see what they can do. And it's 1, 2, 3. It's Miami time. Here we go. Action for it's Leisig with a much better start this time. No Williams driver sneaking his way in. It will sideways a little bit and off the track. It's Walrus spinning into turn one, and it's Z-Milk from Hayden, from Leisig, from Reimer,
Not
from
sure what
NLC. That's
happened
your
to
top
Walrus
five
there. We might be
here
able to get a
in
replay here
Miami.
later on to see what happened, but yeah, unfortunately, he will be clawing his way back up from the back.
A big spin into turn one. He got a little sideways, and then the correction just completely took the car. And now action three down the back straight. Oh man, crowding him, but keeping the wheel in. They're still battling down into 11. They're almost side by side, deep on the brakes. It's going to be a cutback and a nice one from Leisig. Oh, but into the side, their contact. And around the outside goes Reimer, taking advantage of these two. And it looks like, no, they're still banging wheels all the way through. Hayden just very
Oh,
aggressive.
chaos.
Oh man, it's getting a bit ugly here. Yeah, that was a lot more wheel banging than we wanted to see. Hayden, 5-second penalty, severe collision, and man, Leisig and Hayden
Yeah,
were just
neither one giving any
banging
quarter.
up against each other for turn after turn there. And yeah, not at all. They both, and man, they both seem to have uh, the right to the wheel, but it's Leisig into the pits right now, alongside a few more curveballs
And we've
into
got a
the
full
pits. A bunch
safety
of people
car,
taking
actually,
advantage
though.
of the
I know it says
virtual.
VSC, but Z-Milk is
So they're
now
just,
behind the safety car.
oh man. And I'm just watching Johnny Damon with a shredded tire coming in and getting his Aston Martin patched back up, coming out in 15th place at the moment. Man, that was feisty, let's say, between Leisig and Hayden there. They really were like, I think there was some shoving more than
Yeah.
just losing control of the car.
Oh,
They
well,
were
you know,
both
it's
fighting
it's
for
been
that
said
position.
here throughout our Discord, you know, that the race isn't
Hey.
won in turn one. Well, it's not won in turn 16 either. You know, first lap. Oh, goodness gracious! But you got it's.
They were. I would have. It would have been. It would have been amazing, right? If they had both come through unclean. Like I'm okay
Yeah.
with that kind of tank slapping, right? And shoving and jockeying as long as both cars are on the track, and nobody takes any car damage. Johnny, I'm on board with the Johnny Damon and little sideways there, but catches it. Back to my point, like the shoving's fine. I mean, especially here in Miami through the mistake generator, there's just no space for anybody. So if you got to go side by side and neither one of you is really willing to let go, you're gonna bang wheels, and that's fine. But it got a little too feisty coming around turn 16, and sideways went Hayden, and now punished for it, just back into
Yeah,
18th.
it looks like it's gonna be a couple laps under
Meanwhile,
the safety
Leisig's
car
in
here.
12th.
Man, alive.
I will say this, like Hayden's defense is very, very aggressive, which I like as long as it stays clean. Like when down the back straight before all that began, Leisig had the better exit down the back straight out of 8, right? And was coming along the outside, and man, did Rogers squeeze the crap out of him up against the wall, but not too much. Just enough to interlink their wheels. You know what I mean? While Leisig is like taking a little rubber off the side of his wheel along the wall. He was so close, but clean, just very aggressive. but man, they got shovey there. I
Oh, yeah,
wonder.
I'm sure we
I'd
will.
like to hear their own opinions of it. We'll see if there's a little drama there. Gotta have at least one good drama incident, or it's not a race. Let's head back up to the front. It's after the safety car. It's Z-Milk, Reimer, and Owa up in the front. They're in the podium positions right now. SP benefiting
Yeah, and he's needed a
as
break.
well
He's
from
fallen
all
on
the
some
pit
rather
stops.
hard
He's
luck
in
here
fourth
lately, so we'll see if he
place.
can capitalize on this gimme. One guy who's not super excited about this safety car is Z-Milk. He had like a 6-7 second
Yeah.
lead before all this, so see if he can retain that. Reimer's pretty good in the wet, so we'll see what happens on this restart.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a replay, and Maffini needs to hustle because I think the safety car going to be in this
I don't
lap.
see the lights off, so maybe
But,
another lap.
Is it? No, it's still blinking. Yeah, it's still blinking. Okay, so he has time. So yeah, Reimer versus Z-Milk, a replay of the end
So I got
of
I got a question in the chat here. I'm not
wouldn't
sure if
mind
it's a
some of that
joke or not,
action.
but Abdul Rahman, one of our pro tier guys, asking what's the tire spread like. Well, we're 3 laps into this thing and it's soaking wet, so everyone's on intermediates currently. But we're kind of waiting to see what the weather does here.
Yeah, it does. It is still raining, but it doesn't seem to be. You don't see any of the patches building up, so it's probably gonna be intermediates for a while.
And Barney in the pits
Hopefully, we'll
right
get a
now.
changeover.
See if he can catch up to the back of the pack before. I would be surprised if the safety car goes another lap.
Really? Yeah, he's got to be quick. Feeney's still trying to get caught up, 12 seconds behind. Man, a wet Miami and pretty aggressive action thus far. We have something going on. Somebody's spun. I think it's Bongit in the Ferrari having a little trouble under the safety car. Hard, man. Every part of your race
his front
has
wing,
to be
so
perfect,
he's going to be
or
into the
you're
pits.
going to end up very much punished. From bad to worse, one Ferrari in first place, the other heading to the pits will be in last place. The lights are still on.
Oh, here we go.
I wonder if we're going to get... There it is. Safety car is in this lap. Oh, suddenly Reimer and Z-Milk very much alongside each other on my screen.
And his car does seem to be ghosted, so I wonder if he got discoed or what's going on here.
Yeah, because it was a weird, like, he teleported inside the Ferrari and then he's just gone. That's not good because the start is about to happen. We are bunching up behind the Ferrari. When will Z-Milk go? And he is away. Then we're going to watch action 3 from Owa. He's got a ghosted AI in front of him. SP having trouble getting the power down. Urban going to take advantage as they head down to turn 1. SP deep on the brakes, missing the apex a little bit. Well, can he get crossed back? And there goes Rujov taking advantage of both of these two as they're trying to figure out a way past each other. Urban still fighting, trying to find a way through. No, it's going to be Rujov from SP from Urban. 4th, 5th, and 6th.
No, he is not.
Let's go action 2. Is Reimer back in his car yet? No. I hope he gets back
His
soon.
Ghost's doing a pretty good job at keeping that gap. I'm actually really surprised.
Actually, his dude's doing pretty decent. I hope that's one of the settings that they
Ooh,
got right.
Z-Milk
Like it's
deep,
not
and
110 AI.
Reimer's
People are
Ghost
going to be
going
very
for
upset.
the overtake here.
Yeah, it was. Just looking for a way through. There goes Owa trying to find his way into second place. And down the back straight, Z-Milk still leads from Reimer from Owa. Rujoff is consolidating his big take. Owa does grab second place down the back straight. Oh, we've got a DNF and another full safety car. It's Curveball finding one of the walls here in Miami. And
Yep.
looks like a stricken Red Bull. I'm going to jump
Looks like
to
they've cleaned it up, but he
Anyote's
was
view
quite
to see if we can get a
a
good
bit
look at.
away down past turn 16. So I wonder if there was contact there.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd think if he's going to. Maybe. Yeah, you'd think if he's gonna if you're gonna pull a wing off down that back straight, or a wheel off, you think it's into 16.
Yeah,
Like
you
you
would
just
end up
gun it too
right
early
on
coming
the,
out of that
right on
turn.
the exit of 16.
But he was. Yeah, guys, listen, don't forget replays because I know you when you get kicked out or something bad happens, you're probably more pissed than in a helpful mood. But we love the replays; they help us tell the story. Is
He got
Reimer
kicked.
back? I'm gonna be upset if he just is gone from the race. He's still
Oh, no,
not
that's
back.
weird. He said for him it said everyone left, but he's going to try and get back in here. Oh, Mastermind Lindsay in the chat. That's a name
Yeah.
we haven't seen in a while, Drez.
Okay, well. Hey.
That's what. Yeah, he said he can't wait to be back on track.
Well, I'm ready to see him back on track. All right. Well, good. Man. This has been a rough one. We're two
Yeah,
safety
the
cars.
record's
It
4,
was
so
tough
we'll
to
see.
get started. Now we're two safety cars. I want to see one of these red flags, right? We have not. I haven't seen one yet, and I want to see how the grid responds to it.
Under wet conditions,
Right?
it's not. I don't think it's that big of a deal because everyone's just going to refit inters. But in a dry condition race, that would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Any strategic changes? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of
get
those.
A 5-star red flag
before.
Right? Actually, we need some. What rhymes with flat? We're gonna have to come up with a rating system that rhymes for flags.
What are you thinking?
We'll figure it out. Safety car. 5-star safety car rhymes, right? So, the star system just works. But the red flag, we'll have to work with that a little bit, I think. Man, Reimer almost coming in contact with the back of that AlphaTauri there. He needs to be careful. Oh, never mind. I'm watching an AI and commenting. So Z-Milk does lead from Olaf, from Reimer. We're 7 laps of 29, and man, we are hoping for some more action here soon. This is a rough. This might be officially the roughest, like, start plus the action in the race is a little rough too that I've seen thus far. Right, we had to restart the lobby twice. That's a record. Somebody should be like archiving that, and then
So
it wasn't just a regular restart. They had to set the grid both times, right? So it's like a long restart. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So kudos to the patience level of everybody who's still on track. All right. This is going to be one of those races where there are not a lot of views. Right? Because people will go back and watch the good races, but they will